Get ready for one of the biggest phones of 2018. Literally. Hey, what's up guys? The XA2 Ultra is the bigger brother of the XA2, but size isn't the only thing setting them apart. With these two front cameras, has Sony created a selfie king? I'm Will for GSM Marrionette, and this is our Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra review. The XA2 Ultra brings back the familiar Sony build style with a little bit of a twist. With its sharp corners and rounded edges, there's no mistaking its Xperia identity. But it is a bit thicker around the middle than last year, thanks to an upgraded battery. The frame is aluminum, but this phablet isn't all metal. Flip it over and you'll find a back that is plastic, but still solid. The XA2 Ultra is a monster, probably not the most comfortable for people with small hands. But if you love big screens, you can make it work. Just make sure to be careful around liquids as there is no waterproofing. There's a USB-C port at the bottom as well as a single speaker. It's loud and sounds good. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack too for some listening on the go. There's also the signature 2-stage hardware button for the camera, so you can take a shot at a moment's notice. The XA2 Ultra comes with either 32 or 64 gigs of internal storage and it's expandable. The fingerprint reader is rear-mounted, and it works in the US. Looks like Sony is turning over a new leaf. It's fast to unlock, but waking up takes a bit longer than most other phones. The screen of the XA2 Ultra is a 6-inch LCD with Full HD resolution. This is with a 16:9 aspect ratio, so it has a bigger surface than those tall 18:9 screens. Contrast is good, with really deep blacks for an LCD. It's a bright display too, with a maximum of 630 nits, and there's no problem using it outside in the sun. The colors aren't too accurate, running on the cool side, but you can make them super vivid in settings. The XA2 Ultra runs the newest Android 8 Oreo, but most of the upgrades it brings are under the hood. The Xperia launcher provides solid functionality without any surprises. Apps are kept within an app drawer. There are some nice ones pre-installed by Sony, including the picture gallery, music player, and the video app. You can swipe down on the home screen for a list of app recommendations and an app search bar. And a bunch of new themes are available to download, accessible through settings. At the heart of the XA2 Ultra is a Snapdragon 630 chipset, the same as the XA2, but here is paired with more RAM. In benchmarks, it does a great job, performing on par with almost all of the mid-range competition, only running a bit behind this year's Galaxy A8. The phone stays cool without overheating, and apps open up without a hitch. Things feel nice and smooth. The battery has been supersized since last year, and coupled with a power-efficient chipset, battery life is excellent. In our proprietary tests, it earned an endurance rating of 100 hours. We were able to charge up to 26% in half an hour with our bundled charger. But since the XA2 Ultra supports Quick Charge 3.0, you can charge it a lot faster. A signature feature of the Ultra is its dual camera setup on the front. There's a 16-megapixel f2.0 primary camera, which has OIS and autofocus, and there's a fixed focus 8-megapixel wide-angle cam. Switching between the primary and the wide angle on the fly is quite easy, but Sony hasn't found a way to make them work together for a bokeh mode, like you'd see on Samsung's Galaxy A8. But even that aside, shots with the main selfie camera don't quite live up to our expectations. They're alright, but we wish they were sharper, and detail is about average. We really expected more out of an autofocus camera. At night, images come out even softer, so the OIS isn't that helpful either. There's also a front-facing flash, but using it means the subject's face ends up blown out. Not ideal for a selfie camera. In daylight, the quality from the wide-angle selfie camera is about the same, but now you have a 120-degree field of view. It's fun to use and great for fitting more of the background into your shot. But with a lens this wide, there is a fair bit of distortion, so frame your subjects carefully. The rear camera is a 23-megapixel single shooter, which we've seen on many other Sony phones, including the XA2. Daylight shots look quite nice. The default Superior Auto mode does a nice job at detecting scenes and adjusting the saturation. Shots have lots of resolved detail and decent dynamic range. In low light, the XA2 Ultra does a pretty good job as well. The noise reduction does reduce the level of detail, but there's still enough to go around. Of course, you can get better results with a tripod and low shutter speed, though these shots end up as 8 megapixels, not 23. This year, Sony has added 4K video recording to the XA series, a huge improvement. 4K videos look good, with great contrast, accurate colors, and decent dynamic range. They are a bit soft though, and audio quality isn't the best. But at least you can rely on the steady shot electronic stabilization. It does a pretty good job of smoothing things out for your videos. There you have it, the XA2 Ultra. It gives you a lot of nice features for an upper mid-range phone. Excellent battery life, a giant LCD screen, and a decent camera with 4K video. As far as selfies go, they're not bad, but they're a bit soft, so sadly this isn't a selfie king. But having a wide angle option does come in handy. If you like your phones big and your selfies wide, the Xperia XA2 Ultra is definitely a phone worth looking into. Thanks for watching. You can always stop by gsmarina.com for our full test findings. Coming up, Andrew's going to tell us all about the best phones for taking selfie videos. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. See ya!